really struggled last week versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Edmonton Eskimos lost that game. He really didn't have a great game. Of course, we mentioned that he was sick coming into this one, so it's been tough for a comeback for Duchamp Elmestute.
Grew up in Laval, played at Vanier College, and then that distinguished career at Arizona State. So 1st and 20 after the penalty, back at the Edmonton 45, and a timeout being called. Green wants to confer with Don Matthews on the sidelines.
Well, he either didn't have the right personnel or the right play called for the personnel that he had on the football field, that he had to burn his timeout. And in a game that is as close as this one, that could come back to haunt him down the stretch, because that's a miscue by the offense. Either the wrong substitution or the wrong play called for the personnel that was out there. You want to save that timeout in a close game for when you may need it later on.
It came down to the wire in the Toronto-Hamilton game today, and well, we just saw how frantic the action was here in the final minute of the first half. So you don't want to use it with 4:07 to go in the third quarter.
And now he has to hurry up. He only has 4 seconds on the time clock to snap this football.
1st and 20, and they do get the play off. Green rolling and trying to turn it upfield. Caught from behind by Kevin Johnson, and took another big hit, this time from William Hampton.
Oh, he's taken some big hits and jumped right back up. But the Calgary Stampeders continue to have problems up front keeping contained. This time it's Steve Anderson's turn. He goes with the play action, and that's why Daryl Hall from the backside is in the chase. You know, you got to think with a guy like Nealon Green that is something on the mind of the defensive line for Calgary, is to keep them in the pocket.
2nd and 11. Swings it out the far side, and it hopped into the hands of Tobert. That's an incomplete pass.
Mark Tobert, number 31, the intended receiver.
Well, that time the Calgary defensive line did exactly what I was just talking about. They stayed wide. They made Nealon Green a passer.
What the fuck is this?
Looked like they made him a victim. He looked shaken up.
Looked like he was in pain there as he was heading to the bench. One thing about Labor Day that you know, it's going to be physical. Doesn't matter what the records are, they're going to be hitting out there.
And some of the vocabulary on the field may not be suitable for family viewing.
Yeah.
There's Matt Kellett. Just got it away. Marvin Coleman did well just to get it over the 20. And there's another penalty marker on the field. We'll sort it out when we return as Don Matthews confers with his young quarterback.
It's now time for the QR7.
It's the 3rd straight Labor Day sellout at McMahon, 7th in the last 8 years. Edmonton with the lead. And don't always follow the football. That's not always where the action's taking place.
Well, on a punt return or a punt, it's always a barroom brawl anyway, but on Labor Day, you take the brawl out in the street and it becomes an all-out street fight. And that time, Jack Kellogg and Scott Diver were going at it.
Stampeders backed up, back at their 10-yard line, and that pass knocked down. Marcelo Simmons gets a hand on it.
And if he doesn't, it's in Pitt's hands. His own defense, Marcelo Simmons, just times his jump and gets up there. It's always a gamble when you leave your feet. Quarterback pulls it down, you really can't make the move, but you can see how open Alan Pitts was in behind.
Well, the Eskimos, a rich tradition on defense, but they've struggled this year. 7th against the run, 7th in total yardage, 7th in passing defense. That's where the improvement has to come in the second half of the season, but we've seen some great strides by the green and gold so far this afternoon, and they're going to back Calgary up a little further here.
No surprise.
Legal procedure. Calgary, number 69, still 2nd down.
And it's no surprise where the leadership came from with this Edmonton defense. You talk about the game that Malvin Hunter is having. not a surprise that the guy who's leading this defense into a real good game here this afternoon knows what it's like to play on Labor Day and how important it is.
That's why they call him Big Game Hunter. 2nd and 15. Dickinson in trouble. Got out of the end zone. Tosses it. A little unorthodox there. Was he over the line of scrimmage? If he was, that's a forward lateral. If not, a completed pass to Anderson. And a flag down, and Dickinson arguing that he was behind the line of scrimmage, but I think he lost track of where he was.
The line of scrimmage was right on the 5-yard line. So let's just take a look and see if he was across it and if the ball was forward.
Oh, he's okay.
Now it's a matter of whether or not that ball went forward or backwards. If it's backwards, it's a lateral.
Walk it up. Walk it up. Offside pass. Calgary, number 15. 3rd down.
Well, they're calling an offside pass. That replay would suggest that he was behind the line of scrimmage.
They're pretty close. Either way, Calvin Anderson didn't have enough for the 1st down, so just a matter of where Tony Martino's going to punt from, if he's going to punt at all.
If you're behind the line of scrimmage, you can lateral the ball underhand. That's a pass Doug Flutie used to great advantage with Pinball Clements in the Grey Cup years. And Martino will concede a safety here.
Yeah, and it's a good move because you know you're going to punt the ball away. Edmonton's going to get the ball in almost field goal range immediately. A couple 1st downs, and they're knocking on the door for 7 points. So that's your choice. You give up 2, you give up an automatic 3 with the possibility of 7. 2 is always the best choice. Lots of time left in the game. You're going to get that field position advantage back.
So now a 5-point lead for Don Matthews' team. I was talking about the defense and how they've improved today. One more look at that little underhand to Anderson.
It looked like a basketball player just dishing it off on the way to the basket.
Well, Wally Buono said the other day to me in a conversation, Don Matthews knows a little bit about defense and stopping the run. And he didn't think those stats were going to stand up for the whole year. Edmonton starts at their own 35. And Troy Mills breaks a couple of tackles and has a 1st down. Here's a question for you. We wondered about this in the 1st half. Don Matthews is known as a live-on-the-edge kind of coach, but he has elected not to accept kickoffs today.
Yeah, it's an interesting point because you think, you know, you take the ball on the 35, which is your choice after a field goal to take the kickoff or to take the football, and he's taking the football. He's got some good returners back there, and you think he'd at least get to the 35.
1st down Eskimos. This time they stop the run. Mills falls forward for a couple. And Jeff Traversy back in the game's on top.
Elon Green, right after the play was over, and Jeff Traversy made that tackle, looked right to the bench and started signaling to the bench. He looks like he has something in mind to call here. He brought in Sean Millington. So they're going to go with 2 backs and probably try and block up any pressure that Calgary may come with.
2nd and 8. Green, lots of time initially. Now he'll pull it down, try and scamper for it, and that speed gets him to the stick for a 1st down. And again, he directs traffic out there.
I am absolutely amazed at how many times the Calgary Stampeders in this 2nd half have lost containment. That time they control rushed Elon Green, and what I mean by that is the defensive line did not come after Green in a big hurry. They were patient with it, making him try and throw the football, but he waited long enough until someone in that Calgary defensive line, and I believe that time it was Kevin Johnson, lost containment. He got to the outside and gets a 1st down his own. They've got to make Elon Green a passer.
Talked to Mike Roach this morning, and they're talking about the comparisons Elon Green has been drawing to Damon Allen, and he says, you know, I don't think he's as shifty as a young Damon Allen, but he is faster.
Yeah. Very strong legs.
Pretty nice to be a rookie already getting comparisons to a well-established CFL veteran who's having an outstanding run in BC this year. Third quarter done here at McMahon Stadium. And we have an upset in the making. The Eskimos have a 5-point lead with 15 minutes to go. The 2-6 Edmonton Eskimos have a 5-point lead over the 6-2 Calgary Stampeders on Labor Day at McMahon Stadium. Here are the statistics through 3 quarters of play.
Well, that rushing yard stats for the Edmonton Eskimos, 146 yards. Second half, a lot of that has come from Nealon Green. He's decided to start running the football, and when he does that, that's when he's most effective.
When these two teams played back in July, the Eskimos had a 1-touchdown lead in the final 5 minutes and let it get away. The Calgary Stampeders are an extremely good fourth-quarter team. Troy Mills backed up by Jermaine Miles on 2nd and 1. You see Miles shaking his head. Let's find out where the officials spot the ball.
Well, he was in the backfield, so they're going to have to measure this one, I'm sure.
Well, just to finish the point on the Stamps in the fourth quarter, let's have another look at Miles first.
Yeah, he just stands up Keesham Elmashub and puts him in the backfield. He was on there with Leo Groenwagen as well. I mean, Jermaine Miles made a play there to make Dom Matthews now make a decision, I believe. And it will be. It's
couple feet, maybe a
short,
half yard.
It'll be third down, Edmonton.
Calgary's outscored the opposition 88-42 in the fourth quarter so far this year. Last year, same story, 194-95 in the fourth quarter. Wally Buono thinks his team is as well conditioned as any.
And no matter how far you're down in the game, if you win the fourth quarter, you usually win the football game.
Dan Crowley comes in instead of Green to handle this third down gamble. And the officials want to reset the ball here.
It wasn't lined up quite right. They had to move it back a couple of inches, I believe.
Crowley, who had to come in last week, replacing the injured Marcus Crandall. Try the right side, he should have it.
Crowley on the quarterback sneak has the Eskimo first down.
Chris Morris and Leo Groenwagen line up on the right side, and you're going to follow someone, you follow the veteran. 224 straight games for Leo Groenwagen. The important part about a gamble like that is who gets the lowest up front.
Well as Green has run today, be in that pushing off situation. They didn't want to test the hamstring. Again, Edmonton, another solid day on the ground, and they're adding to the numbers. Mills, though, stopped as he hit the 40. Maybe 2.
It's a gain of 2.
Now the Calgary Stampeders have an interesting decision to make on 2nd and long. They have had troubles getting them into this situation, 2nd and long, but now they can either do one of two things. Blitz, to try and get Nealon Green shaken up a little bit. They were burnt once by the blitz by Terry Vaughn. If they play it soft, Nealon Green has broken containment a couple of times.
In the first meeting, Wally Buono felt his defense got better as the game wore on against Green. I don't think we can say the same today. Little pass out to Tobert in the flat. He stretches out looking for that first down stick. Looks like he's a yard short.
And it'll be a long yard, I think. It's going to be a long yard. Becomes more of a gamble in a tight game, especially a 5-point game. You don't want to mess around here. You're going to send in the field goal team. Make sure you get the 3 and push it to an 8-point game. Now you're a 2-point converted touchdown away from tying instead of converted touchdown away from going ahead if you're the Calgary Stampeders. So you know that Don Matthews will go with his barefoot kicker and send John Baker on it.
Baker now for Edmonton attempting a 39-yard field goal.
Surveying a 39-yard attempt. Missed that long effort early in the game. Gets this one. Just inside the upright, Marvin Coleman arguing the official's decision, but it's 3 more on the board.
3, 5.
Well, we should mention in the capacity crowd there is some green and gold sprinkled in today, and they're enjoying proceedings so far. Now an 8-point lead. A little bit of a dispute on that field goal. We're going to give you another look after the kickoff. Really hard to tell if Marvin Coleman had a case or not. We do know Rock Preston has the football, and he's got room to rumble. Rock Preston inside the 20. Did he step out? Yes, he has stepped out at the 7. But Rock Preston has electrified this crowd with a 78-yard kickoff return.
Special teams are made up of special people, and there's been some big special teams plays in this football game this afternoon. Rock Preston, the latest, you think back to the Marvin Coleman return that set up the score. A couple big plays off the punt formation for the Edmonton Eskimos. Special teams, a huge factor. Now Calgary has to take advantage of it.
Andre Batson saves a touchdown, but the product from Florida State has Calgary in scoring position. Warwick Dunn's old running mate. With Florida State, the huge play here to put Calgary in the red zone. First and goal. Dickinson into the end zone. Touchdown, Vince Danielson. And while the celebration's on, do you go for 2, Glenn Suter?
Yeah, I think you probably do.
27-25.
Go for 2 right now, tie it up. A lot of ways to score a single. You can punt for a single to get that extra point if you don't make it. Edmonton going with the blitz to Terry Ray on the backside, but this time the Calgary Stampeders block it up. Ron Meyer picks up Terry Ray, and that allows Dickinson the time to find Vince Danielson.
Been a quiet day for the Calgary slot machines, but Danielson has his 5th touchdown of the year. Now they go for 2, go for the tie, go into the end zone, and they got it. Marcus Dowdell. Tie game, 11:47 to play in Calgary.
Marcus Dowdell gets the 2 points. Big touchdown by Vince Danielson ties this game up, and all of a sudden, we're going to have a finish.
It has gone back and forth, and Rock Preston set it up.
This is the Dowdell 2-point convert. Slide protection up front, blocks up the safety blitz, and then Dowdell just has to get inside position.
Here's Fred Bailey, and they've got him wrapped up before he got to the 30. Eric Sutton in on the tackle as the special teams unit of Calgary's fired up.
Yeah, that'll get you fired up in a hurry. Not only when you score the touchdown, but then you get that 2-point convert to tie it. Hey, everyone's pumped up now. Now it's up to Elon Green to try and take some of the momentum back.
Well, the lead has changed 4 times today, and now we're tied in the 4th quarter. Elon Green with impressive numbers.
First and 10 at the Edmonton 30.
11.5 minutes to go. Troy Mills lunging to the 34. He'll have 4.
That's a big play by Darryl Hall. Vince Danielson scoring that touchdown. It was quiet up until that point. On defense, Darryl Hall is starting to step up his game. He had a choice to make there. Here's Danielson's touchdown. Just a little curl. So that's fine. That's a veteran finding the hole in the zone defense.
2nd and 6, Edmonton. Open man, Rick Walters the catch, and a first down at the 42.
The Eskimos number 11, Rick Walters.
5 years in Saskatchewan. Rick Walters now playing at home. He was a high school star in Edmonton.
It's a gain of 9 yards.
Used to watch the Labor Day game, cheering for the green and gold.
Yeah, Simon Fraser grad, was a tailback at Simon Fraser, and really has become a very good receiver. In fact, a lot of teams could probably start Rick Walters in their lineup.
Fresh set of downs for Green. Over the middle, a completion. Bailey broke the first tackle, but lost his footing at the 48.
Lost his footing, and he's real slow getting up on the sideline. He really put on the brakes and may have twisted his ankle.
Remember, he seemed to favor the ankle earlier in the game.
Well, watch when he throws on the air brakes here. He's going to put on the brakes right there. When he does, his leg kind of rolls up underneath him.
They've both been providing Calgary areas with electricity for decades now. ENMAX, the official electricity supplier of the Calgary.
Still hasn't got up. I'm pretty sure it's his left ankle.
Waited 2.5 years for his first CFL start and made the most of it last week against Hamilton.
Yeah, here, take a look at this. Look at the left ankle. Watch how it gets rolled here. Right, one more step, and it gets rolled underneath.
Right at the end.
Yep. Gives Wally Wano time to make sure he's got the right defense called, and to tell Marvin Coleman, this is, I guarantee you what he's telling us, go tell those guys to keep Elon Green in the pocket.
Bailey up, and we only hope it looked worse than it is. One thing we haven't seen since early in the game, Glenn, is Wally Buono felt this defense is better than the one that won the Grey Cup because they've made a lot more big plays this season. We haven't seen as many big plays from the defense so far this afternoon.
Well, you're right. You think about William Hampton on the corner. 5 interceptions, 3 go back for touchdowns. Those are huge plays. I mean, to score a touchdown as a defensive back happens once in a career, and Hampton's done it 3 times this season. So you're right. That's why Wally Buono's been happy about the big plays that his secondary's made and his linebacking core, but they haven't made those plays this afternoon, and that's credit to Elon Green. He's making good decisions and running when he has to.
Bailey putting some weight on the ankle. That's good news. He's trying to walk it off. Pat Clayton, the Stampeders athletic therapist, was calling for the cart all along.
All right, it's time for this Labor Day sellout crowd.
It's amazing Bailey's walking it off, considering that last replay.
Yeah, all his weight was on it when he got twisted around like that. So, and as a receiver, when you have an ankle injury, it makes it that much tougher. You really can't come out of your brakes, even if it feels like you can play and you tape it up again. It really will bother you. Here's one more look at the injury where he gets rolled. See the ankle rolled right up there.
Eskimos lost Marcus Crandall last week with an ankle injury that will keep him out 4 weeks. He was having himself a game against the Hamilton Tiger Cats when he went down, and so was Bailey, and now it looks like the Eskimos have lost Bailey for at least the rest of this game.
Eskimos on 2nd and 5 at the 48.
So back to the action, 2nd and 5 for Edmonton at their own 48. Green looking for Tolbert, can't hang on. And William Hampton was in coverage for the Stampeders.
Just talked about making big plays, and on 2nd down, he comes up with a biggie. And that's just second effort from William Hampton, breaking back on the football, not giving up, because Mark Tolbert did his job. He was coming back, but Hampton didn't quit. Got his hand in there and pulled that ball out of there.
The folks at Ivor Wynne went home happy today as Hamilton defeated the Argonauts in their annual Labor Day grudge match. And will the home fans go away happy from McMahon Stadium today? The Eskimos have given Calgary all they could handle and more, and we're tied with under 9.5 minutes to go.
Well, it's been a special teams game, and it's Marvin Coleman's turn.
He had a big one near the end of the first half. looked like he had a little room up the sidelines, but Rick Walters cut it off. 40-yard punt, 7-yard return, 27-27 in Calgary.
The National follows at 10 and 11.
Twitch City might be Calgary right now. We've had quite an afternoon. And the Stampeders trying to break the tie.